So this is going to be quite a long list, but today I'm going to be ranking all the characters from The Office from worst to best. I'm only counting the main characters, and some of them surprised me, so let's get into this. Number 25 is Robert California. This is the most weird and wasted character in the entire show. He was just plain weird half the time. They got a great actor, and at first I thought that the idea of this character was interesting enough. The idea of a mastermind that no one can really read, which even that isn't a great idea to me because it doesn't lead to good character interactions, and I don't know where they would really go with that. But after that, he just went to full weird sex jokes, like skinny dipping in a pool after a divorce. Number 24 is Gabe Lewis. Gabe is just absolutely pathetic. He's not that high above Robert California, so there isn't much of a difference between them. He has never made me laugh. He obviously doesn't have any chemistry with Erin, and as soon as they break up, he becomes even more pathetic. I don't have much good to say about Gabe, but at least he didn't have much screen time, so that was pretty good. Number 23 is Clark Green. Same problem as any of the characters that came in on the last season, or season 8, since, as I said, he just came in the last season. But at first I thought maybe this guy could possibly work. He seems okay, but like 3 episodes in, he is making all these weird sex jokes, and none of them made me laugh at any point, and one of them was just, it kind of creeped me out, honestly. Number 22 is Pete Miller. Pete is easily the most forgettable character in the entire show. It already doesn't help that he was introduced so late in the show, but he just doesn't do anything except for ruin Andy's relationship, which I was really getting invested in, and it felt way too forced. And after that, they didn't really do anything with his character. He was supposed to be like Jim, but at no point did I find him as charismatic or funny as Jim. The only thing that I can think of that's memorable for him is that him saying the entire script Die Hard. Number 21 is Nellie Bertram. From her initial appearance, I found her honestly annoying, so it was a big surprise to me that she came into the main cast. She had some nice character moments, especially with Pam, but all the while she felt out of place in this show, because this is a US show. There is the UK office for the UK characters. It kind of felt like they were going to try and set up an arc with her, but in the end they did nothing, which is a main problem with season 9 of The Office. They set up all these big ideas and then they just don't pay them off in the end. Number 20 is Roy Anderson. Roy was only meant for one thing in the show, which was for him to be a person that you don't like, to boost Jim, to show who Pam shouldn't be with. All those things are just what he is supposed to be. It was extremely sweet to see him in season 8 or 9, I think, with his wedding, and seeing how much he has grown and become happy, really. I think Roy served his purpose on the show, but they added a little bit extra, which gives him this extra boost and gets him out of those bottom 5 spots. Actually, wait, he's still in the bottom 5. I'm a bit stupid. Number 19 is Kelly Kapoor. Kelly is acted how she is supposed to be, which is the mean gossip girl in The Office, but since she is acted like that, she can come across as a bit annoying herself. She is one of the more memorable characters in the show, and she has been around since the beginning, but she can come across as extremely annoying herself. Number 18 is Jan Levinson. This character at first was acted to a T. She was the boss and lover of Michael Scott, and she was acted so well. She had good interactions with the rest of the office, but later in the season she went just full crazy mode. She became unlikable and just plain weird. You no longer had that connection with her where you felt like, yeah, she has a reason to be mad at Michael, but after those seasons she became one of the most weird and wacky characters in the show, which is a thing that unfortunately we see a lot in this show. Number 17 is Meredith Palmer. Meredith is one of the more forgettable characters in the show. She has got some memorable moments, usually for the wrong reasons, but she is just one of those spices that adds a little more humour to the show. So overall, a character that doesn't have anything bad but nothing very special to add to her. Number 16 is Ryan Howard. Ryan at first was a character I really liked. He was like the original normal guy, except for Jim, of course. And he kind of respected Michael, in the beginning anyway. And he reacted to all the office antics in a way like a normal person would. But then he went to the bad boss, to a nut bar, I think. That's what it's called anyway. And he slowly started to fizzle out on being a good and normal character. Because he does so many things that are so unlikable and not really, I guess, weird and just desperate. Yeah. He just became one of those annoying characters, which at first was quite good. Number 15 is Angela Martin. At first, Angela was that always serious and hypocritical person, which always made her just kind of unlikable. But from season 6, I would say, and beyond, she was great. She had some great character moments, especially with Dwight. She still wasn't one of my favourite characters, even then, but she was really great, and I really changed my tune on her. Number 14, this is a bit of an unpopular one, but Stanley Hudson. Now, I know a lot of people love Stanley, and don't get me wrong, I still like this character. When he smiles, it's like the best thing ever, but I just don't find him too funny. He can be extremely funny at times, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't say much. He can't make the most jokes, which I know he isn't designed to do, but even his sarcastic quips don't get much laughs out of me. So, still a good character, but not one of my personal favourites. Number 13 is Erin Hannon. I like Erin. She was really sweet in her runtime of the show. She obviously had good chemistry with Andy, but the writers kind of threw that away, which was annoying, and then she got with Pete, and that was even more annoying. I wouldn't say that is Erin's fault, more of the terrible writers from season 8 and 9. I don't think her stupidness is that overplayed, so overall, only bad moments are really from the writers for being stupid, so it's more of the story than the character herself. Number 12 is Holly Flax. Holly is the perfect match for Michael. She's the only person that can keep up with Michael's craziness, which is really sweet to me, and she also has some of the best moments with Kevin. My only thing about her that I don't like is really not her fault, but when she left the show, it made her feel quite distant and cruel. And, since she doesn't get the most screen time because of that, it's just, I can't put her too much higher. Number 11 is Toby Flenderson. I'm going to go quick with Toby because I don't have much to say about him, but Toby is just such a lovable and pathetic character, but not in like a Gabe kind of way. He's extremely endearing, and you miss him when he's gone, and you always feel bad for him, especially when Michael's doing his Michael stuff on him. But now we're in our top 10, so please subscribe. Anyway, starting off on our number 10 is Phyllis Vance. Honestly, such a wholesome character. She can go from being the sweet grandma in the office to the one that's a bit out of touch on stuff, and sometimes even the mean gossip girl. So she is such a diverse character, but at the core you always know she is really sweet and looks after all her co-workers. She may not be one of the most memorable characters, but it's always good when she's on screen, and I think she needs more respect on her name, because a lot of people don't talk about Phyllis. Number 9 is Andy Bernard. Andy is honestly a great character. I love him pretty much throughout the entire show. He goes through an arc from season 3 to season 8. I also love his chemistry with everyone, especially Erin in like season 7 and 8. He is so sweet with her, but I also love his interaction with Jim and Michael as well. Unfortunately, I have to take season 9 into account, which is extremely annoying, because as most people know in this season, Andy was just not a good character. He was the boss, and he was like Michael, just without the care for his co-workers. Then he left for a bit, then he left for a bit again to become a movie star. I usually class season 8 as his last season. Well, his last good season anyway. Number 8 is Creed Bratton. This character isn't on screen that much, but pretty much every joke he makes lands. It's so hilarious. It would have been better if he was on screen more, but he is just so funny. This stuff that he pulls out of nowhere is so hilarious, so I can't just not put him here. Number 7 is Daryl Filman. Now, what makes Daryl go here on the list is not because he's the most funny character, no. It's the arc of this character. He started as just a side character in the warehouse, then he came to the office, made friends, and become one of the main characters on the show, and just for that, I think he deserves this spot. Number 6 is Oscar Martinez. I just love Oscar. He is so damn great. I love all his sarcastic quips more than Stanley's. He can be really wholesome when he lets Angela stay at his house and becomes the godfather to her son. Not that kind of godfather, but a godfather. I know he has the plot line with the senator, but honestly, I don't care. Still a great character in my eyes. Oh, and he has some of the best dance moves in cinematic history. Number 5, yeah, we're in our top 5 now, is Kevin Malone. One of the most iconic characters in the show and has some of the most memorable moments in the show, such as the chili drop and where he hides his M&Ms. His interactions with, well, anyone really are just amazing. Sometimes he can be a bit too stupid, but most of the time it doesn't really bother me. Like, he's still just a really kind of endearing stupid. I love Kevin. He's wholesome and funny, and I think everyone loves him. Number 4 and 3 is Jim and Pam. I kind of cheated because I can't pick one above the other. It's really difficult for me. Both of them are characters that have grown so much, and their relationship is one of my favourite parts of this show, and one of my favourite relationships in all TV, and honestly in all of like movies as well. If I had to pick one of them above the other, then I would have to pick Pam, just because she has changed so much from her first appearance in the show. She used to be like really shy and stuff, and now, you know, she's obviously grown more than Jim, but Jim, still a damn great character. And our runner-up at number 2, this may surprise quite a few of you, but Michael Scott. I'm sorry I had to do this, but Michael Scott is number 2. I know, but of course I love this character. He is probably the most iconic character in the show, and is the bad boss, but he has such an unexpected care for his co-workers, and that's the thing that elevates him to this point on the list. He is probably one of the most memorable characters in all of TV shows, and there is no changing that. He is also one of the funniest characters in TV as well, and his ending on the show is absolutely fantastic. But my number 1 is Dwight K. Schrute. This was an extremely tough decision between him and Michael, but I had to pick Dwight. He is my personal favourite character from The Office. He is continually funny in all seasons, and he is actually the only character to appear in every episode of the show. And like Michael, he has a strange connection to his co-workers, and his and Angela's relationship is fantastic, especially in like those last 5 episodes of season 9. When Dwight gets that promotion, it's my favourite moment of season 9, easily. It's such a heartwarming moment, and seeing him just be that happy is just amazing to me. But of course, on the flip side, you've got how just hilarious he is. He has some of the best moments on the show, in hilarious and iconic moments, like starting the fire in the office and cutting the face off the dummy, and that is why Dwight K. Schrute is my favourite character in The Office. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, because this one took a while to write the script of it, and that wasn't, it didn't take me like 2 weeks to write the script. I was just doing other stuff. But yeah, please subscribe, so I can give you more, quick rankings and reviews and stuff. Anyway, bye.